Okay, well, I think we're all set. Good morning. Great to see everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Matt Kircher. I'm the managing partner of Terranomics, and want to take a moment to welcome you to what is our second Terranomics Retail Vision event, 2013 edition. And I'm pleased to say today's event is going to be pretty exciting. We're very bullish on where the market's going in 2013, and we have some great speakers for you. This last year, 2012, was a pretty dynamic year, and really the last 18 to 24 months in the retail world here in the San Francisco Bay Area, has really been fabulous. I'm sure most of you are experiencing that. We're happy that that's happening. Certainly at Terranomics, we like to think we've been in the middle of a lot of these deals. In fact, I'm really pleased to say that Terranomics in its 40-year history, we had our second best leasing year in 40 years, doing a little over 420 transactions and almost $500 million in leasing alone in 2012. So we're pretty excited. And in a couple minutes, you're going to hear how great it was, or how great we think 2013 is going to be through our esteemed speakers and panelists. A couple things, little housekeeping on our sponsor. As you know, Terranomics a number of years ago sold to BT Commercial. We became Cassidy Turley, Northern California, here about 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm pleased to announce that in late December, we were rolled up into Cassidy Turley National, which gives us a great national platform to work from. And one of the things for our clients that's so great about it is we have really strong property management now, over 455 million square feet of property management throughout the country. And if you're a retailer or a developer or just own a building here and there, I don't see it up on the screen, but we also now have corporate services. Headquartered in St. Louis, it's a full menu, soup to nuts, from property management to construction management to doing lease abstracts, et cetera. So we've got a great national platform, and we're very excited about that. And you might remember Mike Kam, the president of Cassidy Turley, Northern California, actually is now president of Cassidy Turley nationwide, which is a great thing for Mike. I know a lot of you know him. We don't see him on a day-to-day basis. He's pretty much on an airplane all the time. But we do have Greg Moss, who has taken over the Northern California management position. And I know Greg is here. Greg? So say hi to Greg Moss. All right. Enough of the messages and sponsorships. Let's talk a little retail. So some of you may have just seen the Shopping Center Today's article that just came out in February, The World Gets Back to Work. And in it, the author makes a statement: this year could prove to be the busiest for global retail development in a generation, which, sitting here is a pretty bold statement to hear. It's pretty, that's a pretty neat thing if you're in Southeast Asia or you're in South America or you're in maybe Russia, right, where the retail development curve is what we experienced 40 years ago. But we're not. Obviously, we're in the U.S. and we're here in the Bay Area, and we're on a very mature development curve. So, what you're going to hear later today is about where we are in this development curve and what's taking place. Some of these developments around the country are really taking place, in coastal cities, New York, Boston, Philly, or on the West Coast here, Seattle, San Francisco, L.A. Oddly, they're also taking place in the state of Texas, which has been in the news quite a bit with their governor out here trying to drum up some business. So we've got a lot to talk about there. The reason I bring that up is recently we developed a survey with our Chainlinks partners throughout the West Coast, new development survey, new developments that are under construction this year and in 2014 that are moving forward. And as you can see, there is, almost every market's got some kind of development going on. And of course, you got to remember in 2009, 10, and 11, there would have been 0 on here, maybe planned, but nothing under construction. So we have a lot under construction throughout the West. Obviously, California and Texas kind of dominate this. The point being really that if you're not on the coast or in Texas, your retail development cycle is pretty flat, pretty much the same, and not all that great. In Texas, really the development cycle, as you can see, is in Dallas, not Houston, not Austin. They have 1 or 2s. But Texas has, or Dallas has maybe 7 projects, Two of them are led by Walmart. One of those has some junior anchors with it. The others are all grocery, mixed-use development kind of projects, right? And if you move to California, the projects in Southern California really haven't started to happen yet. They're in the planning stage. Again, really grocery-driven, Target-driven, and really starting construction next year. The Central Valley and the Central Coast starting to see some new projects. I was talking with Heather with Donahue Schreiber earlier today. They've got their project up on 80, rocking and rolling with Target and Walmart. Chris Shane is doing his project down in Fresno. And I know Malone and Geyer is starting to site plan their project out. I think it's called the Delta out there on Highway 5, is it? 5, yeah, thanks. So we're seeing, it's starting to pick up in different areas. But the real big story on this plan is the Bay Area. 11 projects, 7 in the pipeline. The world's been really good here. And we're going to hear a little bit more about what's causing that, what's creating that from some of our speakers here. All right, so again, why is this happening? Let's ask our speakers. We're going to have Garrick Brown, who is head of Cassidy Turley Research and Chainlink's research team, come up and speak to you about some of the housing fundamentals that are driving our retail market. We're going to have Dan Wall talk to you about Capital Markets, our partner here in the city, who specializes in retail, and many of you know him. He does a great job. And then we're going to do a little panelist discussion with Rhonda Caldwell and Todd Oliver, our partners here in San Francisco and in Burlingame, about suburban development, retailers, et cetera. So let's get it started. Garrick?